has gone out of my mind.
Even as you're going to remember it, the idea, I was also talking about idea of discouragement, overcoming discouragement on my series in the episode, and one of the
I've remembered it.
Yeah, see, one of the things that I know that helps to overcome discouragement is actually gratitude, because at some point in time you are discouraged of the things you do not have. See, if it was someone else on your birthday, they will be looking at, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, and I don't have that, and they will be discouraged. But now gratitude is looking at what you already have right now and not taking it for granted. Let me tell you what I said. The revelation that came to me as I was podcasting was this. Sometimes we give up. We can give up at this level, right? We only have 10 episodes. We don't have a website. We don't have,
those things.
Yeah, we can give up here. But let me tell you, we can come back 1 year later in 2022 and you can look at where we are right now and you realize that, hey, wait a minute, we were very far away ahead with just what we were doing. That's what gratitude normally enables you to see, that you are far, even if, it seems like you are not.
The one step you take in the direction of your greatest self is the greatest step you will take compared to the one who only has a vision but takes no step. My message from this year has been progress beats perfection always. And even as we bring this back to
the last G.
The last G, yes, is grace.
Right.
So I want to model my life as a man and the life of my children. And I want these to be the 4 pillars of our lives. To be intentional about being gracious. Grace, that is, in fact, that's the most important G. The first is grace, and then grow, and then be grateful, and then be generous. But grace here, what is grace? Grace is the perspective of seeing good in spite of the bad.
Acknowledging that the bad is there, but not using the bad as the yardstick of judging.
No. You're calling out the goodness of people. So this is the thing that children could teach us as adults. That when they meet a human being, the first thing they give them is grace. For them to
be. Even, by the way, let me shock you. Not even shocking. A dog. You see how a dog receives people? Excitement.
Grace.
As in all the time.
So grace is the attitude which God has when he says, come, let's reason together.
I wonder why they say men are dogs.
Come
I'm sorry.
You've thrown me off a tangent there. But yeah, so these are my forwards.
Yeah,
let's grow in grace. Let's grow in gratitude. Let's grow in generosity. And let's be intentional about that. And as men, I think this is something that will be really awesome for us to see in our children. So, Lawrence, we've been talking about my father's son, and last time we were discussing patterns of paternity.
The imprints that our fathers have, and the same imprints that we're going to have even on our sons and our daughters.
And it's been really exciting, and I've been having this conversation with people, and we had this debate, and we were thinking, wait, what? How comes that a father has a son, and he is in the son, but the son is still themselves? That's a strange thing, Like, every child is a mashup of their parents while retaining an individuality of who they are.
Of their own,
So, how I summarized it was this way. That we are a product of our parents' choices. But we will eventually be a product of our decisions.
We make our own choices.
Exactly.
Regardless of whatever imprint that we are coming up with. Good or bad.
So if there is a pattern or if there is a cycle that our forefathers started and we do not like it, we have the power within us today to change and switch the narrative.
And the problem sometimes is that instead of people realizing that the power is in their hands to make those decisions, they end up in that pattern of blaming. I don't know if you heard people blaming generational curse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, generational curse. It's a generational curse. It's something that my dad did and my great granddad and so on and so forth. It runs in the family.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Without noticing that, at the end of the day, the power to effect a change and to draw a line in the sand and say, from now on, remember what Joshua in the Bible says?
As for me and my house.
Say, as for me and my house, man.
Yes, as for me and my house, we're going to be generous.
This is the decision.
We're going to be gracious. We're going to be kind.
Yeah.
We can do that. So even as we get into our first break, we are today talking about still, I am my father's son. And we have said that for a son to change his life, he must understand where he's coming from.
Yeah. Origins.
And today's particular topic is about anger.
Emotions.
Why are men so angry?
Why do they say men are angry? There's a conversation that has been going on. Our goal is to be a resource point of growth and safe space.
Let's talk about that when it comes
where men who are struggling can find a hug. Man can talk to man and become as iron sharpens iron, changing the countenance of his friend. And we want men to be there for each other in this treacherous journey that is a man's life. No man should struggle in the dark alone, and we intend to work with men who we view as wounded warriors to get back to their identity, to discover their innate potential as men, as husbands, as fathers, as leaders, because we believe that if the manhood challenge is solved in our generation, half the world's problems will also be solved. Yeah, we're back.
So, Lawrence, you mentioned gender-based violence. This year I had the opportunity to work on a gender-based violence campaign.
Yeah.
And I told these people, all the stuff you see, men beating women, men doing random things, I heard in the news today. This village somewhere in Kalungu.
Yeah.
This is in Uganda. People wake up.
Kalungu is which region?
This is southwest
Luwero,
around Luwero side. Yeah?
Okay.
So people wake up and they notice that there are flies gathering around
a particular place,
a door of this house.
Yeah.
And when they come to the door and they break it, they open it and they find a woman had been stabbed to death in the head. Yeah. And so when they began to get into the situation, they discovered that what had caused the fight was that this wife on this particular day called out her husband on coming home late.
Right.
But they say that what had been happening was these guys used to have arguments every day. That they wake up in the morning, the woman would go to drink, the man would go and do his work, and they'd come back at the end of the day and then they'd fight. But then this particular day, the man came back late, and when his wife told him, asked him why he was late,
he
lost it and stabbed her in the head. And so people so they're looking for him. So the man has run away. But when they get him and they take him to court, how do you think this case is going to be judged? It's going to be judged on the action of murder.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll ask some questions about motives. But who's going to ask the question? What makes you that angry? Why are you so angry?
Why do you get to that level? Right?
What is anger?
Of picking a knife and sticking it into your wife's head.
Why are men so angry? Where does this anger come from? And
let me tell you a story also. This one is it's a true story, and I'm trying to talk about the imprints of our fathers, and the imprints of our fathers are also in the community, right? In the vicinity, in the community, the way a community treats its women and so on. So I was in a local church in the village, and I got to participate in this immediately after college. And as I was talking to some guys, of course youth at that moment in time, some boys were dreaming about their marriages and so on and so forth, and go to a place where some started talking about disciplining their wives, right? That they've got to set them straight, they've got to teach them some things
before they meet
on.
them.
And they were doing this innocently, as in that is their vision.
Before they meet the people.
Even before they meet these women. That is their vision. Now, what shocked me was not what they said. What shocked me is that I got so shocked that it was so normal with them. But the shocker was that when I turned to an elder,
I was like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, a pastor in the same place. I asked him for a comment and he sided with the guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on 1 minute. Am I normal here? Right? How can it be normal for you to say that you're gonna slap your wife around, beat your wife around to set her straight? And I asked them
before you meet her.
Even before they meet her.
That disturbs me.
Yeah. And I asked them a question.
So this man is depositing violence.
Exactly. I asked these guys a question. So for you guys, when you do wrong, who sets you up? I mean, who sets you straight? Who beats you up?
Life.
But you get my point.
Yeah.
This was an innocent imprint that was going on in these boys' lives. Right now, I think they are now married and so on. And I hope my contribution in their lives kind of set them in the right path. So the question you were asking earlier on, where does the anger come from? And I have no answer. I can only speculate. But I do think that as long as we are not getting a hold of ourselves as men and being, you used the word intentional, being intentional about our well-being, our health mentally, and also our relationship to the vulnerable in society, they're not going to be having as many gender. It's the issue of ego. The man feels like I'm a man and I'm in charge, I'm in control. And so they feel like the only way they're going to show that you are in control is to meet some kind of violence. Tony Robbins says that some people normally show their superiority when they stick a gun in your face. All of a sudden, they're the most important person in the room.
Or throw money at you.
So you remove those appendages.
Or
what are
use
they left
the
with?
vilest words that they can use.
Yeah. Use the vilest words and just demean you. So if you strip them of those crutches, the violent words, the gun, the fights, what do you have left?
As a man.
You get my point? What do you have left as a man? And that is what's supposed to form who the man really is. Not what he uses to get control or what he uses to have other people secede to him so that he feels all of a sudden he's important.
So someone said, you are not your ego.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
I can speculate. It means that who you really are is not necessarily what you do.
The things that make you feel important are not
you.
Yes.
You are not the things that make you feel important.
Yes.
You are not your car.
You're not.
You're not your hot wife.
No. You are not that bounce, that swaggerific walk. You're not.
You're not your company's name.
Yes.
The company that you work at. That's not you.
That business card is no one makes you a man.
Remember I talked about business card where
I love my business cards because I've noticed when I give my business card, they take time looking at it.
Right.
Like they'll take time and they look. Now that is a pride of branding.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So the ego is a brand. But remember, the brand is a visual representation
of what is inside.
Yeah. It's a visual representation of the inner vision.
Yeah.
So your ego is an inner representation of who you are. So if you have a larger than life ego, it means that deep inside there, There might be something that you are overcompensating for. This afternoon you saw someone that we met.
Yeah.
A very interesting situation.
Yeah.
You know?